Unique Cox pairs and pairs double within the space of an hour.
This is going to be a wonderful, wonderful race between the two. These are the technicians, they're self-styled technicians. These are the power men. They like to go out in front. They have been put under a lot of pressure in the last 7 weeks. They went away after that defeat in Lucerne, up to the mountains to really think about what they were going to do, to improve their technique, to harness this fantastic power. They've changed their boat, and as far as their coach, Grobler, is concerned, Jürgen Grobler, he believes that they are the best crew in the world.
Well, that was the Czech pair of Adam Michalek and Peter Emre. They were 9th last year, so they've improved to make it into the final. But already, Dan, look at the power being implied there by Matthew Pinson and James Cracknell. We're barely 250, and they've got almost half a length.
Yes, and rowing well. Here the Scallin brothers moving very sweetly over there. A very powerful pair. They were in the 8 last year, but look how well the British are rowing. They've got a length and a half on the Australians. The Australians are lying last at the moment. They take a lot of time just to settle down. Very confident, but maybe they've left it a little bit late. Ooh, bit of a worried look across there. They can see where they're sitting down now in last position, but the water's nice. But the Brits are out in front, and they've got nearly a length now on the rest of the field, but nearly 2 lengths on that crucial Australian pair.
Yeah, this is an extraordinary start here by Matthew Pinson, the owner of 9 World Championship gold medals, and his partner James Cracknell, and they have almost got that clear water through the first 500 metres. 1:30.86. That's astonishing.
Very fast indeed, very fast indeed. Matthew Pinson goaded now into producing his very best. They're running scared, but rowing well. Look how well they're rowing. They're very accurate. They've really got focused on this. Matthew Pinson, remember, has not been beaten since 1991. He's been on the podium, on the top podium, ever since 1991. So pride is at stake here.
Well, here's 2 men who've taken it pretty easily through the proceedings, through the heats and the semis. Ramon Di Clemente and Donovan Ketch. They've been quietly making their way, and they're 2 men who traditionally, Dan, come with a bit of a late rattle, so we need to watch for them. And these 2 Yugoslavians, well, this has got to be tougher for them. When they took on Pinson and Cracknell, of course, they had fresh legs a year ago.
Well, they also had the South Africans, but they didn't have the Australians last year when they got their silver medal. But they are out of it here, and still the Australians aren't coming, and still Great Britain are moving away. This is extraordinary. Steve Redgrave will now be worrying about his world's best time, I think, because these 2 men are motoring.
Well, so Steve Redgrave, as you say, standing at the finish with a huge British contingent. Meanwhile, worth keeping an eye on the Scallin brothers, the 2 Croatians who are comfortably at the moment in 2nd place. You can see them there. It's Sinisa in the bow and Nixa in the stroke seat.
It's 2.5 lengths on Australia now. The Australians still haven't made their move. That's an awful lot to make up, and this is the area now, this 3rd 500, which is where Australia usually make their move, but my goodness, they've got an awful lot to do.
Well, just to give you an idea on splits there, Dan, through that 2nd 500, 1:34.68 for the British, and the Australians 1:36.46.
Well, this was the area where they had to make their move, the Australians, but the way the British are rowing at the moment, they are rowing well, rowing powerfully, and looking back on the field. And as the water chops up here and becomes difficult, mistakes when you're under pressure in the field, like what's happening behind here now, that's bad for you. It puts much more pressure on you. You can make a mistake when you're a length and a half up, but you can see that it's not really hurting you. Here come the Australians now. They've moved right through. They've moved right through now into 4th place, but Great Britain a length and a half, 2 lengths up, and just motoring so effectively.
Yes, the battle really on for silver and bronze, because I can't see the Australians or anybody else for that matter closing that advantage. But the Scallin brothers still looking pretty tough on the top of the picture there, holding off the Australians. The bow of their pair, number 3, being chased now by the South Africans. The South Africans, who've been very, very quiet. They were in 3rd place right the way through the first half of the race. They dropped back a little bit, but now they're coming again.
The British are at 36, the South Africans are at 38, the Australians are at 37, and they're trying to move by. Now they are moving, But can they get Great Britain? 500 metres to go. Great Britain nearly 2 lengths up on the Australians.
Yeah, and 3 in a line there. vying for silver and bronze medals. Ignore that caption, it's wrong. Yugoslavia is certainly not in second place. On the top of the picture there, it's still Croatia, Australia, the meat in the sandwich, and closest to you now, these South Africans. The South Africans putting all their best work in now, and my goodness, Dan, they look as if they're in silver medal position.
And the South Africans have got up to 40 strokes a minute, and it's Australia now trying to make that move. They're being really dogged and tracked by both Croatia and South Africa. They seem to be sticking there. They aren't making much of an impression, and out in front you can just see the puddles of the Great Britain pair. Remember what Steve Redgrave said this morning. He said, do not underestimate Matthew Pinsent, and I think everybody underestimated how much these two men could do.
Well, they certainly have made the improvement, as you said, Dan. High altitude training at Silvretta with Jürgen Grobler, then a spell at Aiguebelet. They've come here, they've shown improved form, but this is magnificent, and it's quick as well. The other three who are chasing each other now are getting ever closer to the British, but the line is going to come well in time for the British to retain their title. The only question is who's going to be second, who's going to be third, and who's not going to be on the podium. At the moment, it is the South Africans who've just got their hands on the silver medal positions, with Australia vying with Croatia. Great Britain take the gold medal. Pinsent and Cracknell in a world best time ahead of South Africa, and then Croatia is indeed in third place. Australia, nothing. And you wouldn't have said that was a possibility coming into this week.
Well, that is an extraordinary result. A great result for Great Britain. They just got rid of all those demons up in the mountains, did a fantastic job. And how did Croatia get back on Australia there? Australia obviously just didn't get off the start, left much too much work to do, and then when they moved, they were matched so well by South Africa and by Croatia.
An awesome, breathtaking performance in another